Wein. Okay. Hold on. That might be very stereotypical, right? I don't even know if those are really even words, right? In German, eins, Wein, Skein. But that's always what I heard. But today we're going to be talking about a population of black people in Germany. Yes, there are black people in Germany. Most people don't know this. Well, I don't want to say they don't know this, but they think about Germany. They don't think about black people. And it's because there's a very, very small population. But today we'll be talking about Afro-Germans or black Germans or Afrodeutsche. It's Afrodeutsche. I think it's like that, Afrodeutsche. So if I'm saying that right, then you know who I'm talking about. And most people can't wrap their heads around it. Like I said, that there is a black population in Germany due to the small population that is in Germany. So Africans arrived in Germany in different ways. Some came as freemen, some came as slaves, some came from the western coast of Africa, the Gold Coast as we know it, and some soldiers, and some more recently came and migrated from different African countries. Now, slaves were sold to the Dutch East Indian Company. It must be noted that the East Indian Company, or the Dutch East Indian Company, had a contract to send 12 Negro boys, as they called it, with 6 of the 12 Negro boys decorated with golden chains to the king in Berlin. Now, people of African descent in Germany go very, very, very far back, further back than where we're going to go today, but very far back, and further than most know. And one of the first accounts was a man, he renamed himself, and they renamed him, Anton Wilhelm Amo, who lived from 1703 to 1759, which is a famous Afro-German. And I will definitely make another segment about him, but a brief history on Anton should be told. And Anton was born in what is today known as Ghana, which is located in West Africa. And he came under the protection of Duke Herzog and grew up in the Duke's castle. And he was the first to obtain a PhD degree and the first person of African descent to attend Germany University. And yes, he did great things, but more on him later. We have to get back to what we were talking about, right? But I just wanted to throw that in there for you. And as stated, there have been people of African descent in Europe way before recent accounts. But the recent accounts put the biggest group of black Germans in Germany around the 17 to 1800s. Although the reason that Germany has such a low population of people of African descent is because simply their colonizing journeys and endeavors were a lot less shorter than the French or the British, for example, during the European colonization and slavery of Africa. And though it must be noted that Germany did lead a genocide on the peoples of Namibia, and still to this day refuse to pay any kind of genocide fund to these people of Namibia. And now, after World War I, most black Germans who entered Germany were French Senegalese soldiers and their children or their offsprings, and in which most of them moved to Berlin and other big cities or the capital city. And before the Nazis came into power, black German entertainers and musicians were a very popular element of nightlife in Berlin and other large German cities. They were very popular. Like I said, before the Nazis, Afro-Germans were musicians, entertainers, and they were very well known. Now, we also have to understand that many African Americans moved from the U.S. to Berlin, to Germany, as well as to other European cities and countries, and they brought jazz with them as well, and they're contributing to what is today, the Afro-German population or the black German population. And they moved to Europe at the time because they thought that life was better in Europe than in the Americas. And now during this time period, Nazis appeared and black Germans appeared as extras in movies portraying Africans. And in these films, blacks always did not volunteer to be extras. Some were recruited from the Nazis' POW camps. So during the Nazi period, a lot of them were forced to just do what they had to do, and they were forced to be in films. So the Afro-Germans during the Nazi period lost passports. Working and traveling was extremely hard for them, and employers would not employ Afro-Germans at the time period. So black German kids were also sterilized, and black Germans were on the bottom of the race scale, lower than Aryans, or the Germans who consider themselves Aryans, and lower than European Jews and Gypsies. But in current time, Afro-Germans or black Germans are very proud people with success. And they have been to in the past and now are into literature, music, science. So the main countries of people of African descent coming to Germany right now are from Ghana, Morocco, Nigeria, Cameroon, Egypt, Togo, Ethiopia, Kenya, and as well as a few others. So today we had a brief history of Afro-German history, I guess you could say. Yeah, Afro-German history or Black Germans, whichever way you want to call yourself. And we talked about, the beginning of them in West Africa and how some migrated and how some were soldiers and how some took in the Dutch Indian slave trade thing going on there. So as always, stay safe, keep learning, and one love. I'm out.
What's up?
Hey!
Shalom.
What up?
Hi.